This is Nymans, a beautiful garden lovingly tended by the National Trust. A haven for visitors on a summer's day. A partially ruined house echoing of past glories. As far away from war as you could imagine. But Nymans holds a secret. "100 years ago, these sounds echoed around England. Brave boys heading for the front. And Nymans has great insight into what the troops thought when they got there. During the Great War, communication from the trenches in France and Belgium back to the UK was by letter, mostly written to family members. There's nothing particularly unusual in that. But here at Nymans is an archive of letters that is practically unique, written from troops of all ranks to the commanding officer who trained them before they went across the Channel. That man was Colonel Leonard Messel, and these are the typed-up letters he received from the front, now on display in what was his house. Leonard, although born and raised in England, came from a German family, and despite being in the Territorial Army, he wasn't allowed to fight. So he trained hundreds of men. Nicky Caxton has organised a display all about him and explains how this unique archive of letters came about.
Any person that he trained, from whatever rank they were, if they wanted to write to him during the war, he would write to them and write back. And it went beyond that, so it wasn't just that support. If their family at home were having problems with money, he would sort that out. And he wrote so frequently, some of the letters, when you get a response back from them, are in such a short space of time, he must have responded immediately when he got them.
There are about 300 letters, and because they're not to family, they provide military detail and accurately reflect the horrors of war.
Dear Colonel Messel, we are getting rather a tough time out there just now. The trench is totally wrecked and the number of dead still lying about in areas long since left behind is appalling. Thiepval and Beaucourt exist only as names. One passes over them without dreaming that they could have been villages. With kindest regards to Mrs. Messel, yours very sincerely, W. Paynis.
9th Loyal North Lancs, British Expeditionary Force, France, 28th of October 1916. Dear Colonel Messel, to have a real enemy instead of an imaginary one to outmaneuver, to be plunged into the holocaust of real war in place of the cramped, unnatural fight of civilization is surely desirable. To walk arm in arm with old skull and crossbones and yet live is the destiny of a god. To walk out into that inferno of no man's land, that hideous desolation full of shrieking shells and rending shrapnel, men falling all around one, and yet to live, surely it is worthwhile. Yours dutifully, Gwyn M. Jones.
Many of the letter writers would be killed, but through the bond they had with their trainer, their thoughts and experiences survive. Leonard Messel wasn't allowed to fight for Britain because of his German ancestry. Rather than turn away, he dedicated himself to training others, standing alongside them from afar, supporting them the best way he could. Tim Cooper, Forces News, Nymans in Sussex.